Linda Nolan reveals items she's ticked off her bucket list after cancer diagnosis. Linda Nolan has her future, however long that may be, all carefully mapped out. From jetting to New York for a star-studded break to a picture postcard Christmas in Lapland, she is determined to savor every second of life as she battles the cancer that took her sister Bernie at just 52. With the disease contained and checks every 6 months instead of 3, Linda, 60, is preparing to fulfill a string of exciting plans on her bucket list. The cancer hasn't spread, and that's the main thing. That is the worry, of course, says Linda. It's treatable and not curable, and the treatment is working well. The only side effect is arthritis in every joint, which is very painful, but at least it's not cancer. You have to be optimistic. There are lots of things I want to do with my life. I've been given a second chance. Top of her bucket list is a trip to see her teenage idols. I'm going to see Donnie and Marie Osmond in Vegas, she says. My friend Liz Emmett has paid first-class Virgin Airways for me to go in October for 10 days, me, sister Maureen and my best friends. I had Donnie's pillowcase when I was 13. I'm still starstruck when I see him. And, of course, she will be dressed in her finest. Louboutin shoes were also on my bucket list, and now I have them. It's all because of Liz, who's been a Nolan fan all her life, and now she's a good friend. She arranged my birthday and the meeting with Donnie later this year, and the shoes. It's amazing. Linda is planning a trip to Lapland for her whole family, including her brothers and sisters and their children. She says, I would love to take my great-nephews and nieces while they all still believe in Father Christmas. I just need to save up. And I haven't been to New York since I was 15. We had 2 weeks there while supporting Engelbert Humperdinck. I'd love to go and see the Christmas parade. To be honest, I've been lucky that a lot of things I've wanted to do, I have already done. But those things would be really special. In February, Linda celebrated her 60th with a huge party where the Nolans reunited on stage. She reveals she snubbed 4 people she'd had a rift with, sending them letters to say they weren't invited. But now she says she has forgiven them. I can move on, she laughs. I don't want to waste my time thinking about them when they aren't thinking about me. I read that if you can't forgive, then you can't move on. Now I don't have to worry about them. She's had worries enough since being diagnosed with breast cancer in 2006. After a grueling fight, she was given the all-clear 5 years later. But in 2017 a tumor was found on her hip. Now she just wants to live every day as though it is her last. And she is supported by her sisters, including Loose Women star Colleen, 54, who recently bought her a puppy so she's never lonely. Linda says, it's a black Shih Tzu called Betty Boo. Sometimes she is the only reason I get out of bed because she needs a walk. My sisters are a great source of encouragement too. They tell me, live every day as if it's your last. It's about enjoying life and keeping in touch with friends. Now when I'm low I think, people are more worse off than you. She says if her symptoms worsened, she would have no hesitation using controversial cannabis oil to manage pain. But she won't cut out all treats from her diet. People tell you do this, do that, but I like my Mr. Whippy with a flake. I try to cut down on sugar though, she says. When we last caught up, Linda was considering internet dating. She now says, 4 of the Nolans are single, including Colleen, but we don't go out on the prowl. So I got together with friends to set up an online dating profile. We opened a bottle of wine and it got hysterical. My friends were writing horrible she's a bitch under the descriptions. We were shouting, swipe to the left, no swipe to the right. Dating turns you into a 15-year-old again. If I were to go on a date I'd have my friends in the restaurant looking out for me. You have to be careful. While Linda is enjoying life, she was recently reminded of a dark period following the loss of husband Brian 11 years ago. The pair were married for 26 years before Brian died of skin cancer. In the depths of her depression, Linda wrote suicide notes to her sisters. She explains, I stumbled across them not long ago. Every letter said, I know you will understand because at the time you think they will, but of course they wouldn't. I will probably always have depression, but I manage it with medication and counseling. I hope I never go back there. She uses cognitive behavioral therapy to stop self-harming. She says, when I've got no one to call at 3 a.m., I will call the Samaritans. Sometimes all you need is an ear. But lately there have been no calls to Samaritans and Linda is preparing to return to work. I'm hopefully going back on Loose Women and I'm ready to go on tour with a musical again, she says. You have to work to pay the bills. I do love working. As for the Nolans getting back together, I'm not sure. It will be 6 years next month since Bernie passed away. I can't believe how we have managed to live without her. It's too hard now, but maybe one day. Never say never. Subscribe to our channel. Like and post comments below the video. With us on the channel, you will find only the latest news. In front, still a lot of interesting